All right, I finally got a merch restock. I know a bunch of people have been asking, letting me know, telling me to tell them when I get them back in stock, so here you go. Here's the deal though. Large, extra large hats, plenty in stock. This is the regular style, the flex fit. We also have the dad hat, which is a very slouchy fit, relaxed with a cloth little clasp on the back, black underbill. All the hats actually have a black underbill. I'm partial to the flex fit style. Now we also have a flat bill hat right here. The flat bill is flex fit, but it's also snapback. Okay, so FYI, if you like that kind of stuff, I got them in stock right there. So those are all available on my website, HVACRvideos.com. As far as the t-shirts, I am wearing the flag t-shirt, okay? We've got the flag on the sleeve. It says HVACR Videos on the back. The big snowflake on the front, all right? We've got a restock of the large, extra large, and the large and the extra large. Now, we have other ones already in stock. If we're missing your sizes on like bigger shirts or smaller ones, just stay tuned, okay? I'm very cautious about doing a restock on the shirts because they don't sell very much. We also have sweaters, the zip-up hoodies that are available for this fall. But most importantly, everybody's been asking about, we got the cuffed beanies back in stock. We also have non-cuffed. That doesn't have this piece right here, okay? But the cuffed beanies are the #1 popular seller. Those, again, are available on the website, too. We have stickers, women's T-shirts. We have women's T-shirts in this flag-style shirt. Just look through the website. It's all available, again, HVACRvideos.com. Thanks so much. This video is brought to you by Sporlan. Quality, integrity, and tradition. Okay, so evaporator right here, it's dripping out of here. We come back here and we can see standing water in the drain pan, but the problem is this drain goes over here and then is interconnected to their beer walk-in and their walk-in freezer. Well, we're gonna go into those right now and check to see if those are plugged up too. Since it's connected to two other walk-ins, what I did was came into the beer walk-in, made sure the drain wasn't backed up in here, and then also went into the freezer. It's not backed up in there. So the restriction is before it connects to these guys, and these guys are still draining properly. So that's kind of a good sign. Okay, now that we know that those aren't plugged up, we're gonna attempt to pull this union right here. We'll drain out the water into that pan, and then we'll try to see if there's just a clog in the pan right here or what it is. I can try to stick my fingers. I don't feel anything. The coil feels really crusty. So let's try to drain this thing first. This is probably gonna make a mess. Probably just let it drain like that for a minute. It's only that pan right there, so it shouldn't be too bad. It's going right into that pan. So I'm gonna let it drain out, and then we'll get in there, and I have some methods of blowing this out. So while I'm waiting for that to drain out, I wanna talk about something. So if you look at the bottom of this coil, you see this like these little bumps, these ridges. That is the pan corroding away. Trust me, do not try to wipe that stuff off. You rub hard enough and you'll rub right through the drain pan. This drain pan needs to be replaced. When you start to see these little dimples, it's the aluminum just corroding. So we'll definitely talk to him about that, but this is really old equipment too, so they'll probably just replace the equipment. But anyways, we're gonna keep on going with this. This guy's got a lot of water in it. So I've got this little fitting right here, and we're just gonna give it a couple little light blasts, hopefully without blasting our face with water. And then you gotta watch out too, because on these things, this damn little thing will get stuck. Most of the time I rip those out. But you just blast through like that. And we got to make sure it's not backing up into the other walk-ins though. All right, I shut off the coil. We've got the drain cleared. The other ones aren't backing up. It's all good. Now we're going to get some Viper condenser coil, the aerosol cleaner on the back of this guy. I did a quick pre-rinse and got majority of the bulk big stuff off. Now we're going to get some cleaner on it. This stuff blows my mind because when you spray it on, it pulls dirt out of the coil. It just baffles me how it does that. So I'll give it let it sit for a minute, then we'll give it a rinse. And again, I had already kind of pre-cleaned it, but this will just get a little bit more of it off. All right, so this coil is all rotted out, but I got it cleaned a lot better than it was all the way through. But there's like holes in the coil. It's deteriorating. Like, it's pretty bad. You got to be careful too about using like really harsh chemicals on it because it'll disintegrate it even faster. We know this thing needs a drain pan. We know that the coil's rotted out, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to keep going, jump onto the roof, check the equipment out, make sure everything's good up there. This equipment is beat down. It's R22. The condenser's a little bit dirty. Someone busted a fluorescent light bulb up here. But the condenser's a little bit dirty. It's not bad, but I got the hose right down that ladder, so I'm going to drag it up here, just rinse off these condensers really quick, and then go from there. I don't think we're going to have any other problems. They weren't complaining of temperature issues, just a water leak, and we're running a clear sight glass. Got a Sporlan seat all right there. I don't see a need to go any further than that. I don't see a need to put service gauges on this, but this whole unit is just trash. Yeah, cap's missing off of the suction service valve. Just beat down. So it is time to replace this equipment, so I'm going to get all the information so we can do that and give the customer the right information. This customer orders their own equipment, so I just got to get box dimensions, voltages, existing information off of the existing equipment, and then we'll be able to size, or the customer will be able to size the proper equipment for this box. Kind of nice. I actually have hot water, so don't think we're going to need any coil cleaner on this. It's just a little dirty. Really, we cleaned this equipment probably about a month and a half ago when we did a big roof sweep here and cleaned all the condensers for the air conditioners too. So yeah, it's looking pretty good, just a little bit more. You can see, I mean, it's dirty. All right, did a quick rinse on all these condensers, and notice that I washed everything away from the condensing units themselves, okay? Washed all the dirt and debris down. Now, you gotta be careful, because the more you wash this stuff, the more you wash off the pebble, or the asphalt pebble, whatever white pebble stuff is, and then you expose, see how it's starting to expose the actual roof material. So, you know, these customers, they should be maintaining their roof too, and they're not. So what happens is, you know, that develops leaks. That becomes a spot where water can penetrate. It gets into the seams. Who knows? You know, I'm not a roofer, but you just want to be careful. You know, you don't want to be washing this stuff every single day, but my equipment needs to be operating, right? In a perfect world, this equipment was elevated 2-3 feet off the ground, to the point that, you know, a little bit of dirt on the ground probably wouldn't be as much of a problem, but, you know, it is what it is. So we've got this back and running. We're going to go downstairs, put everything together. I do kind of want to talk about something real quick, and I'll talk about it in the closing words too. You know, every customer that I work for is different. I have 2 customers that are very proactive about replacing equipment, and then I have 2 customers that take forever. Like, one of my customers just spent $8,000 on a reach-in cooler that I told him to replace, that it wasn't worth the $8,000. And that $8,000 they had me put into it still isn't working the way that I'd like to see it work. It works, but not as good as it should be. I told them they should have replaced it. So, you know, every customer is different. So just because I'm saying this customer, it's time to replace this equipment, I'm doing what the customer wants. I just know what they want. I'm not 100% sure they're going to say replace it, but I'm going to get all the information and tell them, hey, it's really bad shape, R22. You know, it's probably a good idea that we consider replacement. And I know them, they're gonna be like, yeah, let's do it. And they'll order new equipment. But again, they order their own equipment, so they save money like that. And then I just charge them to install it. You know, a lot of people get all freaked out about that. How come I do that? That's stupid. It's business, you know, you choose some customers. There's give and take with every customer. This one right here keeps me busy through the winter. I get constant call after constant call with this customer, versus other customers, they don't call me very much. So, you know, it's a give and take, and, you know, every business operates differently. So to each their own. But I'm going to get all the information. So like I said, box dimensions, model and serial number of the condenser, model and serial number of the evaporator. I take into account the climate, where the walk-in's located, you know, all that stuff, and then we'll size new equipment for them. But that's pretty much it on this one. We're going to wrap it up. And hey, it was just a water leak. How hard could it have been, right?
This started as a water leak. This was a drain pan that was leaking water. That was the customer's complaint. But of course, I don't just stop at a water leak. First off, paying attention to the way the system operates. We've got 2 other evaporator coils. They share a common drain line. It's not the greatest idea, because the common drain line for all 3 evaporator coils is 3/4 of an inch. Realistically, it should be 3/4 coming out of every coil and at least an inch going to the drain. If we lived in a higher humidity area, probably bigger than that, depending on the amount of moisture and stuff that's in the air, right? This customer leaves the door open all the time, so that's why the evaporator coil was so dirty. And that leads to condensation, you know, washing off that lint and that dirt and just plugging up the drain line. So before I blew it out, I went and made sure that the other drain pans were not plugged up. They weren't. That made me determine that the plug was right, you know, at that point before the other two drain lines entered that drain line. Went ahead and blew out the drain line. Then I went and poured water in both of the coils and made sure they were independently draining, so that way we didn't just blow the restriction up into one of the other coils. Big picture when it comes to drain lines, right? You know, I have methods when they're all connected. They could be a challenge to blow them out with one person, because sometimes if it's a really bad plug, it's blowing up into the other coil. What you can actually do, I've figured out ways to do it with one person. If you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, buy some 3/4 copper unions and some copper stock, you can basically make union adapters with a hose bib on one side that you can connect to a union, and then put a union with a stop on the other side, and then go from each coil, blocking off each coil when you need to, if that makes sense, and then you can go blow them out. This situation didn't require that much work, just blew it out, but then I went through and made sure that the other coils weren't blocked now, but didn't just stop there. Went up, cleaned the evaporator coil because it was very dirty on this unit. Then went onto the roof, gave a visual on everything. Didn't see a need to put service gauges on it because they weren't complaining about temperatures. There was no abnormal icing, nothing like that. But again, it's all about the big picture, right? So they called me for a water leak. I solved the water leak, but I went further, okay? Big picture stuff. Now, something I didn't show in the video, one of the main reasons why there was so much lint and why they keep leaving the door open is because their door is actually broken. It doesn't shut anymore. So I got information, the door is trashed. I got information to size a new replacement door for the customer. So we'll do that. But then on top of that, I'm talking to them about replacing their equipment because the equipment's in really bad shape. This is a very proactive customer. It's R22. We want to get away from that before it becomes a big problem, a compressor replacement, something like that. So I'm going to give them all the information. Now, I don't know for sure if they're going to change the equipment, but I know what they usually do. So I collected all the information while I was on site, while I was still billing them, measured everything, right? And then that way I can give them all the information. My time's already accounted for, and I'm done with this until they make a decision on whether or not they want to change the equipment. Now, they don't have to change the equipment. I'm not forcing them to, but again, I know this customer, but I just give them the facts and the details. Okay, it's really old. The evaporator's rotting away. The door's not shutting. You know, just give them all this information and let the customer make sense of it and do what they will. Again, like I said in the video, I have some customers that don't change equipment. They spend stupid money repairing stuff when I'm like, guys, please just change it. But they don't, okay? They prefer to repair things. So it changes with every customer. The way that I approach calls changes with every customer. I happen to know how my customers operate, so I just follow what they do, right? So I'm not forcing anything on them. And in this situation, this customer buys their own equipment. I know some people think that's crazy, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? This customer gives me a lot of work, keeps me busy, and I make plenty of money off of my labor rate. You know, we price things accordingly. So we do fine with this customer. We've worked for this customer for over 20 years, right? So we're going to keep them happy. I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you guys saw the merch plug at the beginning, again, we have plenty of merchandise available, the large shirts, the extra large shirts, plenty of the large, extra large hats, the beanies, zip up hoodies, all that good stuff. Again, at my website, hvacrvideos.com. By going to my website and purchasing merch, that's a great way to help support the channel. The easiest way to support this channel, though, is literally just watch the videos from beginning to end. That is the easiest way, okay? Website, obviously, hvacrvideos.com. There's a couple other ways to support the channel if you're interested in doing so. If you want to purchase any tools, you can go to truetechtools.com. They're an online tool website, right, that specializes in home performance and refrigeration and air conditioning tools. I stand behind them. They're a great company. They do have great product and great customer service. They also have an affiliate program set up with me. So if you use my offer code Big Picture, you can get an 8% discount on majority of the items on their website. There's a few things that doesn't apply to, but when you use my offer code Big Picture, I get a small commission from that. So that's a great way to help support the channel. You can also support the channel from PayPal, Patreon, or YouTube channel memberships. There's links in the show notes for each one of those. I really do appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Thank you so very much, and we will catch you on the next one. Why is it my entire body itches all the time? Freaking driving me nuts, man. I think I got herpes or something. God damn. All right. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? La 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 la. All right. I am professional. Let's do an audio sync.